Hello, I'm Charlotte and this is Books and Bargains. Today I'm coming to you with another charity shop haul. I have lots of books. I'm really enjoying building my library, but we're actually getting to the point now where I'm trying to slow down because these shelves behind me are full and I don't have much room on the one over there. So without further ado, let's get into the books that I got. So I've been trying to focus on books that I know that I've got on my Amazon wish list. And right at the beginning of the month, I went to Colville. And the first book I picked up was Alan, the Christmas Donkey. Now, this is a non-fiction book and it's all about Alan, a donkey at a sanctuary. And he was badly neglected and he'd been left to die. Now, this sounds like it's going to make me cry, but I cannot wait to read it. And that was from the Veteran charity shop and that was 10p. And like I say, that was on my wish list. And then I went into the Marlene Reed Centre and they have so many books. And usually their books are 50p, and there's a big sign up on the day that I went in that said books are 50p each or fill a bag for £1. So you all know that your girl filled a bag for £1. So I'll go through them. I'd say the top 4 were ones that I would have probably bought anyway at 50p each, and the others are just bonuses. So I picked up Hollow City, which is the second novel in the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I've got the first book and haven't read it. I then got Who's That Girl by Mari McFarlane. I got Ian McEwan's Atonement. And I picked up Behind Closed Doors by B.A. Paris. I really loved the dilemma that I was sent and I wanted to read more from B.A. Paris. Then to fill up my bag, I picked up Me Before You and After You by Jojo Moyes. These don't add to my TBR as I have read both of these, but I wanted to get them to reread sometime. I got The Gift by Cecilia Ahern. And then, just to finish off my bag, I picked up Turning 30 by Mike Gale. As you may or may not know, I will be turning 30 in July. And yeah, it was a really random one I picked up. And then recently, I've just read a collection of short stories. And there was one written by Mike Gale. And I thought it was hilarious. So I hope that this book lives up to that. I've said before on here, and I'm glad that some of you agreed with me, that the British Heart Foundation is quite pricey for a charity shop. But the first book that I picked up was on my Amazon wish list, and not only was it on there, it was in my I have a top 25 priority list, which might seem like a lot, but that's just me. And that was Clean by Juno Dawson. I've heard so much about this one, and look at that gorgeous shiny cover. It's in perfect condition. I'd seen this a couple of weeks ago in there, and regretted not going back to get it, so I was glad that it was still there when I went. And on the same trip, for £1.50, I picked up Geek Girl Head Over Heels by Holly Small, and I now have, I think, 4 books in this series, so I'm looking forward to getting into that. We took a morning trip to Ashby one day just so that Tom could pay in a cheque, and obviously ended up having a look round at the charity shops. And the first one I got was Jenny Colgan's Welcome to Rosie Hopkins' Sweet Shop of Dreams, and that was 99p. I've got The Christmas at Rosie Hopkins' Sweet Shop, and I wanted to read it last year, but I have to read books in order. So now that I've actually got the original one, I'm going to try and read that kind of September time, I think, so that it's still fresh in my head for Christmas. And the next one I picked up, this was a cover buy, but I read the blurb, and since I've had it on my TBR, I've seen my friend Emily from Novelle Novels has read this and loved it. And it's Sarah Crossan's One. I'd never heard of this before. And it's twins, conjoined twins that are being separated. And from what I can see, it's all written in verse. And I've never read a book like that before. So for 99p, I picked that one up. The next book could quite possibly be the biggest bargain I've got this year, and that is Christmas Days by Jeanette Winterson. I've heard Lauren from Lauren and the Books absolutely rave about this book last year, so I put it on my Amazon wish list as high priority, and on there it was £17.99, and I had told myself that if I still hadn't got it by Christmas, I was going to treat myself to it. The book, like as it says on the cover, goes through 12 stories and each one has a recipe, and I thought I'm going to read that over Christmas. But I got this from the Age UK shop for 99p and it is again in perfect condition. On another shopping trip, my nana kindly treated me to a couple of books, also from Age UK, and the first one is Who Run the World by Virginia Bergin. This I've looked at before. It's a virus that's wiped out all the men on the planet. What can I say? And then the next one, I think this was fate that I should find this. I have been buying my BookTube and Bookstagram friends birthday presents when I can, and it was Holly's birthday and I'd picked up this book for her, so then when I saw it for myself for £1 I had to get it, and this is Jodie Picoult's A Spark of Light. Again, I heard somebody talk about this recently and I wanted to read it. The next stack of books are all from the Leicester Hospitals charity shop. The first one I bought in the shop and this was 50p, and this is the first in the Murder Most Unladylike mystery series, which I've got 2 of the later books, so I'm glad to have that one. And then we are running bookstores at the moment. They're mostly weekly and I help to run those, and all the books are 4 for £1 as we have so much stock. So I was only going to pick up 4, but I ended up picking up 8. And when I'm filming this, I'm doing another one this week, so we'll see what I get. And the first one that I picked up, Agatha Raisin and the Busybody. As you know, I'm collecting the Agatha Raisin books. I then picked up Wife in the North by Judith O'Reilly. You might remember, if you've been watching my channel since the start, that I DNF'd a Judith O'Reilly book back in the summer now, but it wasn't anything to do with the style of writing. I really enjoyed it, but I didn't like the content. The book that I DNF'd, I can't remember what it was called, but the premise was that it was a year of doing good deeds. But she spent a lot of the book just moaning about the good deeds that she was doing, but I'm looking forward to reading this. I then picked up Raspberries on the Yangtze just because it looked interesting. I picked up On Chesil Beach by Ian McEwan because I wanted to see the film and didn't get round to it, but liked the premise. I picked up The Memory Keeper's Daughter, which I picked this up from reading the blurb, and basically a man has twins and his son is healthy but his daughter has Down syndrome, and so he tells his wife that the daughter died while secretly entrusting her in the care of the nurse, and I've never read anything like that before. There's going to be a crash in a minute here if I'm not careful. I then picked up Nice Girls Do, Sex, Lies and Gardening just because it sounded fun. And then this book, I would have paid the whole £2 just for this book. I picked up Renee Edo Lodge's Why I'm No Longer Talking to White People About Race. I hadn't spotted this, and one of the other volunteers was putting books out at the front, and I leaned across the table like, yoink, that is mine. So I'm looking forward to getting into reading that. This is one that's been on my wish list for ages. And the last little stack that I've got for you in this video are all from Loughborough on a number of various different trips. I didn't buy all these in one day. Now, the first place that I went was the Sue Ryder shop, and their books were buy one get one free, and I really wanted to pick up Nick Hornby's Funny Girl. Again, this has been on my radar for ages. I say that I'm not into historical fiction, but I'm quite liking things that are set in the 50s and 60s at the moment. And this is Miss Blackpool in the 60s, basically. So I'm looking forward to reading that. And then to get one free, I picked up In Bed With, Unashamedly Sexy Stories by Your Favourite Women Novelists. Now, one thing that I think is brilliant about this book, I was looking through to see who'd written what, but instead of actually having their author name, it has their... is it their porn star name? Is that how you'd say it? But basically, the way you get it is the name of your first pet and your street name, which I thought was funny, and looking forward to getting into that. I mentioned in my vlogs, if you watch them, that I went on my first solo trip to Loughborough, and with all the adrenaline, I went book shopping once I got there. Like I say, I am trying to slow down on the books that I'm buying, And I think I've stopped buying ones just because, I think, unless they're in a deal. That's what I can't resist. You know, if there's a deal that's like fill a bag for £1, as long as there's one or two that I want, I'm going to get the rest. But anyway, I picked up Hadley Freeman's Be Awesome, Modern Life for Modern Ladies. And it says, I need to read this to you. I know I don't normally read blurbs, but all women need to listen to Hadley. She might just have the answers to life's trickiest questions. Why does the funny girl in the film never get the guy? Can you read a women's magazine without damaging your brain? And should you buy Hello Kitty knickers? Of course you shouldn't. Why are you even asking that? It just looked funny. I then went into the Rainbow shop and picked up Agatha Raisin's Spoonful of Poison, and also one that again has been on my wish list for a while, and this is Deborah Levy's Swimming Home. This is quite a short book, so I'm hoping to get into that soon. I then went into the Vista shop where all their books were 3 for £1, and there were 2 that I really wanted, but they were 50p each, so the third one is kind of a bonus. So the first one is Quiet Power, Growing Up as an Introvert in a World That Can't Stop Talking. Susan Cain's books sound really interesting, and both me and my husband have both said we want to read this. I've started buying books as well for him as well, although a lot of the time it's that we both want to read it. And then I picked this one up, and this is one that I'm going to read for Mental Healthathon this year, and it's Somebody I Used to Know by Wendy Mitchell, and it's a memoir where she is talking about living with dementia. I think it's in first person, so she'll be talking about, it says, as both a heartrending tribute to the woman Wendy Mitchell once was and a brave affirmation of the woman dementia has seen her become, and I've not heard of anything like that before. And then the one that I got free from there was a bit of a wild card. It is called Fitness Junkie, and I am hoping, it sounds like it's going to be a satire of kind of the wellness community. I'm not sure though. I hope I've got it right, and I hope that is what it is. And the last 2 books I bought, the first one isn't actually for myself, it's for one of Tom's friends. But he asked me to keep an eye out for it, and lo and behold, there it was. And it's Not Okay to Feel Blue and Other Lies. I'm currently about 2/3 of the way through this book, and I think it's really important and everybody should read it. In fact, if I do find another copy, I'm going to do a giveaway with it. And that was £1. And again, the books were buy one, get one free. So I picked up Marie Kondo's Spark Joy. So that's that for this charity shop haul. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please let me know below if there's any particular books that you're looking out for, or any of these that you think I should get to soon. And also let me know if you think any of these are trash, because I have plenty of books on my TBR. So if enough people tell me that something is trash, I will return it to the charity shop. But until next time, look after yourselves.